In Bangkok, Thailand, the earthquake yesterday brought down a high-rise government audit office building under construction. At least 10 people were killed and about 100 people are missing. Search and rescue personnel said it's challenging to extricate those buried underneath. TV News reports from the Thai capital. The devastating aftermath of the collapsed building for Thailand's audit office in Bangkok's Chatuchak district, jointly built by Thai-Chinese enterprises. Heavy machinery at the site deployed to clear the rubble and debris. An emotional scene for the victims' families. Some local Chinese were at the scene wishing to help. Volunteer Ding Yan said they hope to be there to see how they can contribute. Rescuers said there were signs of life under the rubble earlier, but that could no longer be determined Saturday morning.
We find 9 persons inside, but for other person that death or pass away, cannot confirm. Only last night, but on this morning, I don't be sure. Cannot guarantee still alive or pass away.
What are the difficulties for searching or the cleaning up in there?
Because the building is too big, the volunteer cannot use the machine.
A Thai engineer noted the collapse is unusual.
We need knowledge. It's the most important. And specific machine. Something wrong. You see all over. Even you see some crack. But this is only building that collapsed. I think we have to look at the design at the beginning, how they calculate, how they design.
Thailand's Prime Minister declared a state of emergency in Bangkok. Bangkok's Chatuchak weekend market in the same district is a popular destination for many tourists. Some merchants suspended their business after the quake.
No one walking. You can see not people walk. Normally they have cloudy, something like that. Saturday, Sunday, but today empty.
I'm traveling, got no choice. Have to visit some place also. Because in my country there's no earthquake. So first time come here, then experience all this earthquake, it's a bit scary.
That was under construction, so it wasn't really stabilized as well as it should have been. So, you know, those things happen. We hope that they find those people that are missing.
At the Hong Kong International Airport, some continued their plans to travel to Thailand. A Thai resident who just arrived in Hong Kong recalled the frantic scene after the quake.
After the earthquake, like 1 hour and 2 hours, the transportation was closed. Many people they were very rushed to go back home. So that's why yesterday it was like really terrible in Bangkok. My first time, like in my life, like 30 years.
As a result of the disaster, a Hong Kong travel agency canceled 10 Thailand-bound tour groups in April with refunds available. Around 150 participants are affected. President Xi Jinping sent a message of condolence to Myanmar's leader as the country struggles with the aftermath of the earthquake. Beijing will provide Myanmar with humanitarian aid worth 100 million yuan. Danny Zhou tells us more.
In his message to Myanmar's junta chief Myung Aung Ngai, President Xi Jinping said he was shocked to learn the devastating quake, which caused heavy casualties and property losses. He mourned the victims and sent sincere condolences to the injured as well as the bereaved families on behalf of the Chinese government and people. She said China is willing to provide Myanmar the necessary assistance to support people in affected areas. China's humanitarian aid will include tents, blankets, emergency medical kits, food and other essential items. The first batch of aid is expected to arrive on March the 31st. The Emergency Management Ministry in Beijing said it sent an 82-person crew of rescuers to Myanmar on Saturday. A separate civil relief squad, Blue Sky Rescue Team, set off from Yunnan province and arrived in Yangon to aid in relief operations, according to state broadcaster CCTV.
The Hong Kong government has dispatched a rescue team to Myanmar to help with disaster relief efforts. The Hong Kong government dispatched a 51-strong rescue team to Myanmar to assist in the disaster relief. The squad is comprised of officers from the Security Bureau, the Fire Services Department, the Immigration Department, and the Hospital Authority, accompanied by 2 doctors and 2 nurses. Chief Executive John Lee, Secretary for Security Chris Tang, Director of Fire Services Andy Yeung were among the officials sending them off at the airport. Lee also handed over the SAR flag to the team's representatives and thanked the team for responding to the call of duty swiftly. Lee said the team is racing against time to save lives, but he hopes the members will also pay attention to their own safety, given the unstable situation in Myanmar with possible aftershocks and the risk of collapsing buildings. Consul General of Myanmar in Hong Kong, Han Wen-Niang, thanked the Hong Kong government for the humanitarian assistance.
I reiterate again my deep appreciation on behalf of government and people and myself to my deep appreciation to the Hong Kong government for this valuable humanitarian assistance. That's a very useful and very helpful, very kind manner to kind sentiments on the people of Myanmar in this difficult time.
Secretary for Security Chris Tang said after their rescue operation in Turkey in 2013, its personnel have undertaken many relevant drills. The Hong Kong mission will carry 9 tons of supplies this time, including surgical tools and drones to Myanmar. An academic said the epicenter of the earthquake in Myanmar is located in the middle of a fault zone, which had not experienced any seismic activity for over 180 years. He said that presents a warning sign for Hong Kong. Professor Yang Hongfeng from the Department of Earth and Environmental at the Chinese University of Hong Kong said the tremors of the quake were felt strongly around a few hundred kilometers away, leading to the collapse of a building as far away as Bangkok. And he said the seismic power released can also impact fault lines elsewhere. He said there is a fault line 50 to 60 kilometers south from Hong Kong, and there were major quakes that occurred on its 2 sides before, presenting a risk to Hong Kong as well. Commissioner of Police Raymond Siu presided over the passing out ceremony at the Police College for the last time this morning before his imminent retirement. Reportedly, Deputy Commissioner of Police Joe Chow Yat Ming is expected to succeed Siu. The passing out ceremony celebrated the graduation of 29 inspectors and 158 constables at the Police College in Wong Chuk Hang. Commissioner of Police Raymond Siu inspected the parade. In his speech, Siu encouraged the officers to discharge their duties in accordance with the law, reason, and compassion. He also looked back on his 36-year career in the force. He said he joined the police with the intention of fighting violence and upholding justice. He said he has no regrets in his life as a member of the force, and over the years the police have witnessed many challenges and changes, but what remains unchanged is a belief and commitment in its mission. Siu's retirement date was supposed to be 2023, but is extended to April 1st this year. He noted the appointment and retirement of the police commissioner should be determined by the chief executive. Siu said he remains committed to fulfilling his duties in the role for the time being. He added the city saw 90 robbery cases over the past year, with the clearance rate having reached over 92%, which marked a record high. Welcome back. Revelers at this year's Hong Kong Sevens were treated to the Kai Tak Stadium's open canopy roof on the second day of the tournament. Timothy Lee was at Kai Tak today.
Stepping into the second day of the Hong Kong Sevens, there was a noticeable surge in spectators from yesterday's figure of 34,000. In a bid to stand out from the crowd, some revelers selected costumes bearing some of the city's most iconic symbols. The arena's beer section also had to work double time to satiate tipsy fans, with many even stacking their cups to build a beer cup snake. What stole the show today was perhaps the arena's open canopy roof.
A little bit cold, to be honest, but no, I think it's fantastic, and it's always good to let the weather play a part in the game.
I really like it. I think it makes it more similar to last year, and last year was very fun.
Despite the poor weather, locals and tourists were not deterred from dressing up to join the crowds on the second day of the Hong Kong Sevens this year. This, as many said, the atmosphere was further improved with the open canopy. There was, however, a glitch. Outside the stadium, at the entrance to the popular South Stand, long queues of eager spectators were forced to wait for up to 3 hours. Tensions escalated when they were told the spectator area barred further entry at around 3 p.m. due to it being at full capacity, with security personnel deployed to intervene in the matter. Several fans forced their own entry by opening the stadium's doors on their own and jumping through gates.
I'm surprised with the lack of organization. There's no instructions, I don't know where I should sit, and I cannot find my friends because I'm being blocked access to where they are. They just say I have to wait and wait, but we're nearing the end of the event.
It's quite frustrating at the moment because we've paid all this money for the tickets and we can't get into the stand that we wanted to really get into.
Timothy Lee, TVB News.
In the latest gesture from Chinese state media, CCTV reported that Hong Kong conglomerate CK Hutchison's plan to sell the Panama Canal ports to a consortium led by U.S. investment firm BlackRock is tantamount to handing a knife to an opponent. However, minutes after going live, Reuters said the post was removed. The statement was released by Yu Yuan Tan Tian, a social media account affiliated with the Chinese state broadcaster CCTV, in a post on Weibo. It wrote that port operations were critical infrastructure and there were significant national interests involved in the transaction. Tens of thousands of supporters and critics of South Korea's President Yoon Suk-yeol gathered in central Seoul today. This as protests grow while the country's constitutional court weighs whether to dismiss him over his imposition of martial law in December. Some Yoon supporters participating in the demonstration said his impeachment should be dismissed, claiming the martial law awakened people. Yoon, who was arrested on charges of rebellion in January, was released from prison earlier this month, further dividing the nation politically. The court is expected to rule on Yoon's impeachment in April. According to a report by British energy think tank Amber, imports of Russian natural gas to the EU surged by 18% in 2024. The report found the increase was mainly driven by high imports into Italy, the Czech Republic, and France. The report also noted the EU's gas supply security from non-Russian foreign sources has become more volatile. This with rising geopolitical tensions and economic instability increasing the risks of relying on U.S. imports. The U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance used a short visit to Greenland to underline America's wish to control the territory. Vance hit out at Denmark's governance, but Copenhagen fired back, saying his tone was not appreciated. David Garrett reports.
Vice President J.D. Vance and wife Usha in a brief visit to Greenland. The couple had lunch with military personnel at a US base in the semi-autonomous Danish territory, an island President Trump says he has to have.
We need Greenland, very importantly, for international security. We have to have Greenland.
The trip was originally going to be only Usha at a dog sleigh race. The Vice President was added, but amid protests from Greenlanders and Copenhagen, who called the visit provocative, the itinerary was scaled back.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Vice President of the United States, J.D. Vance.
Vance took to the podium, sending a message to a wider audience in this strategically significant area of the Arctic.
Our message to Denmark is very simple. You have not done a good job by the people of Greenland. You have underinvested in the people of Greenland, and you have underinvested in the security architecture of this incredible, beautiful landmass filled with incredible people.
Vance certainly correct about Greenland's beauty, despite the tranquil wilderness that could come from the pages of a Hans Christian Andersen fairy tale. Many Greenlanders vocal in saying their home is not for sale or available for America to control. As Vance was touring the base, a new coalition government was being formed with agreement among parties to move toward independence from Denmark. The new Prime Minister is 33-year-old Jens Frederik Nielsen.
På et anlæg, der deres. Jeg synes,
He said Vance coming to visit while there was no sitting government showed a lack of respect.
We believe in the self-determination of the population of the people of Greenland. And our argument is very simple. It is not with the people of Greenland, who I think are incredible and have an incredible opportunity here. Our argument really is with the leadership of Denmark.
We are open to criticism, but let me be completely honest. We do not appreciate the tone in which it's being delivered. This is not how you speak to your close allies.
Greenland's flag still flies as US relations with European allies continue to drift. David Garrett, TVB News.
And that's the news. Thank you for watching.